Hi, in this video tutorial, you will learn how to use project curve, rule command, and also create various types of datum planes and also use datum axis to aid your design. First, we will create a datum plane on the sketch. You don't need to do this if you think about it, because we already have an XY axis and there's a sketch that was drawn from that XY plane. But I will still do this because I would like to have this so that I can show you better on what's being on the action that's being performed, right? Okay, so let's say I have this datum plane here. Don't want it too big or it's just gonna come in way. All right, now what I want is I need to select a point here, so my objective is to get a 10-degree draft of just this arc. And if you try to do this with the draft command after extruding, it doesn't work. You don't get a 10-degree draft of just this portion of your arc. You can try this. So instead, what we will work on is we'll try to use a ruled operation. But before we get to ruled, we need to first get a 10-degree angle or a plane that's at a 10-degree angle. So to do that, we'll first create a datum plane, and I want the datum plane on point and direction, and I want to select this outmost point of the arc, right? And now you see this one's pointing in some direction, but I want the normal of this plane to be the vector that's joining this point and the center of the arc. So the NX usually has a good alternative solution for that. So we are gonna stick to that. All right, that's good. And I'm gonna click OK. And then we will extrude this further just so that it's clear on again what we are working with. All right. Now I have this datum plane here, and what I need another vector to rotate this datum plane by a 10-degree angle. So I will create a datum axis, and I'll select this plane and this plane so that I get that vector or that axis. So once I have this datum axis, I can essentially rotate my datum plane about that axis, right? So let's go to datum plane one more time, but now we will try to rotate the datum plane with respect to these two. So I'm just gonna click on that and that, you see, and I want a 10-degree inward angle, so that's gonna be a -10, right? And there we have a 10-degree draft. Okay, so now to avoid any confusion, we're going to hide all of these planes, all of the other planes that can be hidden, I'm going to hide all of these. So what we have is just one datum plane that's going at an angle of 10 degrees. All right, I'm just gonna make this smaller. Okay, all right, now I need a sketch. I need another sketch down where the extrude would otherwise end. So I'm gonna draw a datum plane. Sorry, I'll mark a datum plane. So I know I hid this plane, but I should still be able to select it. So I'm gonna mark another datum plane that's 0.748, and in the other direction, so there. All right, now on this datum plane, I'm going to project this curve on this datum plane. To do that, first I'm going to go into sketch mode, and I'm going to work on that sketch, and I'm going to say, go to your direct sketch command and expand the dialog box and click on project curve, and then select this curve, the original curve. We will keep this on associative for now. I just do this for simplicity's sake because if you don't keep this associative, then the curve that's projected doesn't come with constraints, and you will have to fully constrain the sketch to avoid any changes in the sketch. So if you keep it associative, it's going to be in relationship with my first sketch, and this ensures that the sketch that I'm projecting, that I project on to the new datum plane, doesn't get disturbed when I add additional constraints to it. You'll see in a minute. You'll see in some time what I mean. But let's click OK here, and you see that's light blue color, just trying to tell you that that's a projected curve with associative function enabled. All right, now we got that, and what we also have is we have a datum plane here, right? So I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to just extend this datum plane. I'm going to just extend this datum plane so that it meets that curve downwards. I'm going to just extend this. Right, you see this datum plane meets that sketch at a certain angle, and that's where we want the new arc to be present. So to do that, first I'm going to draw a datum axis. I'm going to draw a datum axis with respect to that guy and that guy, and I'm going to just move this before my sketch. My datum axis, I just moved it. It was after my sketch, I just moved it before my sketch. And I'm going to go back on my sketch command, and I'm going to try to draw an arc here. So I'm going to do arc. I'm going to do an arc from somewhere there to somewhere there. Yes, I want it to be tangential to that, but I also want it to be tangential to this axis or this vector. So we will go ahead and apply those constraints. So what we will do is I will say tangential that to that, and also I want this tangential to this line. Right now all of this is tangential, and you see it's coincident too, so you want the point to lie on that curve. And then I will create a line. I want to create a center line. To do that, you might simply click on derived lines. Click on derived lines and select this line and this line to get a center line. You can then make this a reference line so that it doesn't affect your sketch going forward. Where is my reference line? Let me see. I don't. All right. Let me get my reference line. So I'm going to. For some reason I cannot find my reference line here, but that's okay. I'm going to make this a reference line. Usually right click gives you this option. So all right, now that's a reference line. So I want a reference line there. Now what I will do from this is I'm going to mirror this curve to this side so that I don't have to perform the same datum axis, datum plane operations that I did for the previous one. I'm going to just do mirror. I'm going to mirror this curve about this point. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to move. So datum center line, select this center line, and there you go. But you see this one's not on the line, like it's not coincident, or the point is not on the line. So I'm going to ensure this point is on the line. So I'm going to apply geometric constraint, point on line, and select that point, select that line. Now that's on line. You see how the constraint symbol changed. Well, that's what we want. Again, select that point and select that line. All right, now we see it. All right, that looks good. Okay, now at this point I'm gonna trim the curve. All right, you see, if I had trimmed it before, it's not gonna let you trim because it's going to say this curve is, you see, it's associative, and at this point we will say remove the associativity. I don't want associativity, and I didn't do this before because it would have messed up when I hit all the tangential constraints. So I'm going to do this now. It should be fine. You see, all of these need to be constrained, but I'm being really careful here, so I'm not going to bother constraining all of them. Again, I'm gonna depend on my auto dimensions to do the job because nothing really moved. But I have my new projected curve with the sketch with an arc which is ending at an angle 10 degrees from the above arc. So I'm gonna finish this now, and I'm going to hide this guy and also hide this vector and also hide this plane. All right, now, so we have two sketches here, and we want to use ruled command to join these two sketches by a continuous solid body. So I'm going to go to surface. So that's from home to surface. If you don't see this, just go to more advanced role option. All right, just ensure you're on an advanced role. If you cannot see the surface toolbar on your ribbon, on surface, click on more and then select ruled. Now there are various different options here. You can select anything. I'm just going to keep it on parameter. I'm going to select my first to be this per guy here, and then my second section to be this. I'm going to just ensure it's in the same direction. So you want to be careful where you select. If you don't select right, it's going to be distorted like this. You see here the direction was odd, but if you remember, I selected the same 2 points on either of the sketches. That's what you want to do when you're on the parameter command here, and you want to get these two sketches aligned. If you can't get this to work, I would suggest you to use by points and get the points, like, you know, select that point and that point, that, and ensure you get this entire object and entire solid body from the ruled command. Once you're done, you click on OK, and then here now you can see what you performed is you got a 10-degree draft just on the arc, and nothing else. If you have any questions, leave a comment.